So it's what we figured out, Steve, is as we were going into homes, a lot of homes had a lot of things in common. And they figured out how to combine 4 of the most common things into this one little unit right here. And it just uses a little bit of water. And y'all know, hopefully y'all know, that the steps of doing a Rainmate demo is in your book, right? Hopefully you use your book when you go through your demo. And I can tell you that I use my book when I do a demo, okay? It's easier to recruit folks when they can see that I've got cheat notes here and that everything I'm doing is in the book and all they got to do is read. So using the book, believe it or not, helps me recruit people. See, they think if I don't use the book, they think they got to memorize it all. And that's not the case at all, right? So use your book. And, you know, it's got an order right here, and that's the order that I go in when I show them the Rainmate. So the first thing the Rainmate does is it's a humidifier. Now, Crystal, you ever had to run a humidifier in your house before?
Yes.
Yeah.
It leaves condensation all over my table.
I tell you what, there's a couple of things that people tell me when they talk about the humidifiers. Number one, they had to add water to them every day. Well, I know now that a lot of those things hold about a gallon of water, and then you had to fill it up every day. That tells me you're putting a gallon of moisture into your air every day. And the other thing it tells me, or the other thing people tell me, is I had to put a towel underneath it because, Crystal, like you said, everything starts to get wet, right? You got all that condensation, all right? So the Rainmate only puts out the doctor recommended 15% humidity. That's not enough that you ever have to worry about any of that condensation or anything getting wet, but it is enough that it keep your skin from drying out. Because y'all know in the wintertime, you turn your heat on, everything tends to dry out, right? You get that old winter itch, right? Steve, it's going to help keep your skin moist and keep you from having that winter itch. Now, I used to have really bad problems with nosebleeds in the winter. Went to the doctor, and they told me that all it was is that my sinuses would get so dry, Brandy, they would crack open and bleed. So he recommended we get a humidifier. Well, the problem with it was we've turned it on. We went and spent a bunch of money on a big humidifier, put it to use, and the second day I noticed that I come home from work and there was a big puddle of water in the floor. The curtains were wet, the wall was wet. I'm thinking I really messed something up. And reading through the instruction manual, it looked like everything was done right, but I did notice big bold print. It actually said, "Do not use near furniture." Now, Jasmine, y'all's house looks a lot like mine as I look around here. You got a lot of furniture. Well, I mean, where would you even put something like that where it didn't get everything wet? You know what we did? Took it back to the store. Figured that one just wasn't for us, right? So you'll never have that problem with the Rainmate. So you can put your hands by the exhaust up here, leave them there all day, Amy, and they just wouldn't get wet because it's just not that much moisture, right? But it's enough to keep your skin from drying out, enough to keep your sinuses moist. Now, Steve, either one of y'all snore? You or Virginia? Both of you? So a lot of people put these on the nightstand. Now, putting it on the nightstand, it's actually being a humidifier will moisten the airway and reduce the amount of snoring that a lot of people experience. So Virginia, Steve, she can finally get a good night's rest. Now, see, it does have these little night lights on the inside. If you put it on your nightstand and the light were to bother you, just flip the switch the other way and the lights go off. All right. It also gives you some white noise, helps you fall asleep a little easier. I know people that paid big money for sound machines that make that noise right there. All right. So that's humidifying. So the second thing the Rainmate does is it's an aromatizer. Now, Steve, how do y'all make your house smell good right now? Using candles, plug-ins, pop-ups, stick-ups. You got some Lysol with a lot. So you're using candles. Gotcha. All right. So now they tell me, y'all, that the average home spends between $25 and $50 a month making the house smell good. Amy, what would you say you guys spend making your house smell good? Would you say you fall within that average category?
Yeah, probably about the same.
Do what?
Yeah, maybe like $20, $30 a month.
Okay, $20-$30 a month. All right, so I want you to think about this. I spent 18 years as a firefighter. So you know what the number one cause of a house fire is, Crystal?
Dryers.
Well, that would actually be number two. The number one cause of a house fire is an unattended candle. Right? I can't tell you how many house fires I've been to because somebody left a candle and let it burn out of control. They call it house on fire, right? Jasmine, have you ever lit a candle and either gone to bed or even worse, you went to town and you thought, I don't remember if I blew out that candle. I mean, that's a pretty bad feeling, right? If you're just in the bed, you get up and go check. But if you're in town, I mean, you don't know if you're going to come home to a pile of ashes or if the house is still going to be there, right? Now the Rainmate, I want you to feel how hot that gets. Y'all reach over here and feel how hot that gets. Now, don't burn yourself. I get them to feel it, right? So it doesn't generate any heat. Even a plug-in uses heat to create the fragrance. You plug it in, electricity heats that wick rind, and it actually makes fragrance. You ever notice, Brandy, after a couple of weeks with a plug-in, that little thing you put it, the little gel pack, it gets all crispy? It's hard, yeah. That's a fire hazard, right? But the Rainmate is a safer and cheaper alternative to things like candles and plug-ins. One, because it doesn't get hot. It does not create any kind of fire hazard. It's a magnetically driven motor, so it's kind of like the slushy machine down at the convenience store. You know, those things always turning. You ever seen one broke down? Yeah, me either. These things run forever, right? So it's the same kind of motor right here. And I say cheaper because one of these bottles right here costs you $9, and you only use a couple drops at a time. Ryan, that bottle right there lasts you a whole year. Now, any of y'all allergic or sensitive to fragrances? Cool deal. So let me show you what we got. So this one right here, this is our lemon fragrance. I'm gonna put 3 drops of that right into the water. Y'all let me know when you smell lemon. And see, if we're here at the table, you know what happens to the fragrance. Brandy, the fragrance comes out like this, and it blows back up in their nose. So they're gonna smell it as soon as I put it in there. Jasmine, that's why we moved to the kitchen table, one of the reasons. So you smell it already? It smells pretty good, right? It's nice and clean. Now, Ryan, I like to call this one, well, it smells clean, you're right, like a lemon pine sol, lemon pledge, something along those lines, right? I call this one the man fragrance. You know why? You know what a honeydew list is, right? Right? So let's say that that you was off work today and cleaning the house was on your honeydew list, right? Well, now she's on her way home. You didn't quite get it done. So, Steve, what you do is you just tidy up a little bit. So this over by the door with some lemon in there. She's going to think you cleaned the whole house, mopped the floors, and all. Brandy, you probably wouldn't fall for that, though, would you? Not now, not now. So y'all got company coming over, just throw you some lemon in there and smell like you clean the house. All right, now you would think if I wanted to change the fragrance right here, Jasmine, what would I have to do with this water? I'd have to dump it out, right? That's not the case at all. See, our fragrances are what we call stackable. What that means is the last one you put in, that's the only one you're going to smell. So I just canceled out the lemon, and now y'all going to smell oranges. So y'all let me know, Amy, when you smell orange.
Yeah, okay.
Can you smell it over there? No, it's
Absolutely.
pretty quick, isn't it? All right, so listen, y'all, I have no idea how this works. See, I'm a smart guy. I like to say above average intelligence, and I am proficient with Google, right? I can find what I'm looking for, but I can't figure this out. The only thing they'll tell me, Crystal, down at the Rainbow office is they call it Rainbow Magic. I don't know what the heck that means, but I tell you what, Steve, ride down there with me Monday night. We'll see if we can get them to tell you, because I can't get them to tell me. All right, so that's our orange. Now this is probably our most popular fragrance. It's purple. It's not lavender, y'all. It's actually a mulberry. All right. So a lot of people say this one smells like Skittles, grape bubble gum, grape Kool-Aid. I had somebody the other day said sweet tarts. Y'all let me know when you smell that one. It's just kind of sweet and fruity. You got it over there. All right. Is that your favorite so far? Yeah. I tell you, it's probably our most popular one. We have problems keeping that one in stock at the store. So that's going to make the house smell good. It's aromatizing, right? Now, the third thing Rainmate does, it's the vaporizer. Y'all ever had to run a vaporizer before? All right. Now, you know when you're sick, you get the vaporizer out, right? Steve, as a kid, my mom would bring it, put it on the nightstand. She'd fill that thing full of Vicks Vapor Rub, right? So this right here is eucalyptus. Eucalyptus is the main ingredient in things like Vicks Vapor Rub, Hall's cough drops, and all that. Says Jasmine, when you smell this one, that's going to smell like that old Vicks, okay? Well, you got it already. All right, now, see, I'm having flashbacks because as a kid, my mama didn't stop with the vaporizer. She would cover me in that stuff, right? She would just cake it on my chest. Jasmine, everybody says, my mama would rub it on me too. No, my mama didn't rub nothing. She caked it on there, right? Just gobs of it. She'd put it on the bottoms of my feet, make me wear socks in the bed. I hated wearing socks in the bed. She'd put it on my temples, right? She'd have it under my nose, up inside my nose, right? You ever read the bottle? Y'all know it says external use only, right? She had that mess up inside my nose. She'd have it on my mouth. I went to bed covered from head to toe, literally in Vicks Vapor Rub. Wake up in the morning, Steve, having to peel the sheets off of you because you stuck to them. Gee, I did feel better. See, what I know now is eucalyptus brandy is intensified by heat. So when you put it on your body heat makes it stronger. When you put it in the water, use hot water. Now, don't put boiling hot water in there. You'll melt this plastic. But like hot tap water will make it stronger. It's going to intensify it. All right. So that way you don't have to, peel the sheets off of you anymore. So you got eucalyptus right now. Let me ask you this, because I think this is the greatest thing about eucalyptus. Y'all like spiders? No, it's eucalyptus. I'm a big boy. You'll see me run real quick, squeal like a girl. Let a spider crawl up on me. No, sir. See, eucalyptus is a natural spider deterrent. So it's not going to kill them. It just runs them out of this area, right? So see, I have 3 of these and a rainbow in my house, right? You come to my house, guess what it smells like? It smells like eucalyptus. We ain't got no spiders, right? So that's vaporizer for you. Now, which one was your favorite, Ryan? Orange, lemon, berry, or was it the eucalyptus right there?
Right,
Lemon. All right, let me switch back over to that. So I would actually go back to whatever her favorite was. Why do I want to go back to her favorite? Crystal's in the back seat of her car. Well, I go back to her favorite because I want her to be happy, right? So I'm going to remember what her favorite was for when I show the fragrances during the rainbow demo, right? So now, and then the last thing the Rainmate does, it's an air purifier. It's actually pulling in room air through the backside here, pushes that air down into water. Brandy, anything that's in here, any kind of impurities like dust, dirt, mold spores, pollen, anything like that, it gets trapped in the water. It can't come back out. You know, they say you can't stomp dust out of a mud hole, right? It's in there, it gets trapped, it can't come back out. The only thing coming out the exhaust here in the front, clean, fresh, water-washed air, just like the good Lord gives you outside. So it's cleaning air for it. Now, there's no filters here. The only thing, the water is the filter. So when the water gets dirty, you just dump it out, right? A little bit of soap and water to clean the inside, you put some water back in it, you're good to go. So again, the 4 things Rainmate does, it's the humidifier, puts out that recommended 15% humidity. It's an aromatizer, makes the house smell good. It's the vaporizer for when you're sick, put eucalyptus in, and it's an air purifier, all rolled into one. Now, Jasmine, I show this in